And we are fucking live. We're live, and I'm delighted because I didn't realize that my fucking StreamYard had reset yesterday. So I got my 20 hours back. So I'm on with two of the most sexiest fuckers in the galaxy. I am on with Monster Deacon and Trenchy, or as I like to call them, Baywatch. How are you motherfuckers?
The bear or B movie watch.
Exactly. How are you motherfuckers today? How, Deacon? As you were saying, your tooth's better than it was, right?
Yes, so much better. The gum is half healed, so I'm all happy.
Thank ever living fuck for that, man, because a tooth is a bastard of a fucking thing to have banjaxed. Like, like chewing is one of the most pleasurable fucking aspects of human existence, being able to chew your fucking food. So I can imagine
Yes,
what it was fucking like.
Mastication is up there with one of life's finest pleasures.
Yeah. My fucking back is feeling a lot better. I'm actually wondering, was it the fucking Bugella shit that knocked me the fuck out? Because I put a dose of that in my fucking back as well when I came back. It's kind of a muscle relaxant.
Well, that probably helped a lot, dude.
Yeah, no, I swear to God, I was out quicker than the Bill Cosby date. I was fucked. You were talking about. Sorry,
you fell asleep. I was about to say you fell asleep quicker than a narcoleptic at a screening for Twilight.
Oh Christ, that's pretty damn quick. I actually went to see the second one of those.
Oh no, you were being evil to yourself.
I wasn't being evil. Okay, so the thing was, when those movies came out, I was very big into representation of Native American culture, because I was so mad to see a fucking a live action edition of version of Scalped, and someone had said to me, "Oh, the Bad Horse, Dashiell Bad Horse, the main character, you should get Taylor Lautner to play him." I'm like, okay, I'll have a look at this fucking Taylor Lautner character. I watched it and I was like, no, this guy would put fucking Native American representation back fucking decades. He can't act. He can't fucking act to save his life.
He was okay in one movie, but that's about it.
Yeah, when you have to sum it up as one movie, it's like, yeah, that's not a great repertoire, is it?
Well, he had a good surrounding cast, so that probably helped him out a lot, too.
Like, it wasn't that he was a bad actor, just very fucking wooden and bad to emote.
Yeah.
Like, it was picked because he's pecs and he's fucking. He's a babe. He's a specimen, like, you know. But
the problem I have with the problem I have with wooden actors is, unfortunately, Groot can emote. So what's their problem and what's their issue?
But dude, Kristen Stewart makes that shit work. She's wooden as fuck, but she makes that shit work.
I will give it down to some of the cast, because again, I was from the fucking whole thing. Oh, anyone who started in Twilight is a shit actor. I'm incredibly wrong. There's a smattering of shit actors, but there's other good actors in there. Like Kristen Stewart.
Yeah.
Myself and my friend used to joke that she had a face that had, like, did I leave the gas on? Kind of, did I leave the oven on? But again, that's the script. Like, that's not the actor's fault. That's just the fucking that's just a bad script and bad direction. Like,
well, total shit. There is no character to Bella. It's so other girls can be that character. So her character's shit.
She's a blank slate. that girls can, like, in the novel, in the novel, she's a blank fucking slate, so any girl can, like, fucking put herself into the place of Bella. Like, people bitch about Stephanie Meyer, but she fucking made a good hustle, like. She found the fucking right ingredients. But, sorry, we've gone totally off the fucking reservation. Deacon,
Oh,
what's
that's
on
all right.
Amazon? I gotta check out, dude.
What's what?
What was on Amazon again that you said I should check out?
Oh, a series called Utopia.
Yeah. Yeah, the fucking the remake of Utopia. For any of our kind of American or non-British or Irish non-British or Irish kind of viewers, there was a fantastic show back in, was it 2010, Deacon?
2013.
2013. Okay, yeah. Basically kind of a conspiracy. Would you have called it science fiction?
I would have called it a sci-fi comedy.
Yeah, it had comedic elements, but some of it got really fucking dark and nasty. Like one of the characters having his eyes removed with a spoon, and having the other one having like peppers and shit put into it. And was it Stephen Maskell was the guy who like fucking he was like the hitman going around in the anorak?
Yeah, trying to take everybody out because they know the secret.
Yeah. But no, so like as I was saying, I originally when that series came, there was talks of an American version of it coming out. But the thing is, the Channel 4 was it Channel 4? It was Channel 4 that released it, right, Deacon?
Yeah, it was Channel 4 that created it, and it was produced and filmed mainly in Liverpool.
Yeah. And like season 1 was like fucking lauded, and then season 2 came out and it didn't do as well. It was only the 2 seasons, right? And then they kind of buried it.
Yeah,
Like,
it didn't perform. Season 2 didn't perform the way they wanted it to. Out of the ratings, it only got 1 out of every 10 households in sort of the prime of 1 out of every 5.
I think it was very much before its time. It would have been up there with the likes. You could have nestled it in to Black Mirror very easily, I think.
Well, the good news is with the series that they have on Amazon Prime at the moment, is instead of it being a straight up remake, they have sat there and gone, okay, it's 6 years later, the comic book has been spread around the world, and they're picking it up from there. It's pretty much a follow-on series instead of a prequel or a remake.
Oh, cool! So it takes place in the same universe as the Channel 4 series.
Yeah, so you have to watch the Channel 4 series to get all of the backstory for all of the little Easter eggs that us fans of the old series will get. But it's jam-packed full of new stuff for a new viewer, so they don't have to watch the original.
Would 4OD be accessible to people in the United States? Like that it's cool in one way, but like, how does that fare for people?
They've got BBC America, so they should have America Channel 4 on there somewhere. It'll be in their cable or TV package somewhere.
Yeah, no, it's just it's a fucking heady mix of stuff to kind of get through as well. Like even without the context, so you definitely need to if it's going to be set in the same universe, you're definitely going to need to fucking watch the Channel 4 series. John Malkovich is involved, if I'm not mistaken. He's one of the characters.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to watch the original series, 2 main characters I can think of was Steve Maskell from Kill List, and the other guy, he was the African sprinter in Misfits. He was an office worker. trying to think of his name. Deacon, you can't remember his name, do you?
No, not off the top of my head.
If you guys had watched Misfits, he was the African character in the early series of Misfits.
I think he was in the later series as well. The track star who liked to run sporty type, and at the end of the last season, he ended up having the ability to turn into a woman and got himself pregnant.
Yeah, that wasn't the last season. He killed himself because he got bitten and he was turned into a zombie.
I stopped after that particular storyline. I'm sorry, but there's only so. My brain's willing to take so much, but sitting there and saying you got yourself pregnant because of your own masturbation.
It was very silly. Someone asked me to describe what the show was, and the only way I could describe it was it's Skins meets Heroes. That was the only way I could fucking describe the show. I don't know if that was an adequate description. Although I shouldn't have brought the biscuit tin with me. Oh. I got a fancy biscuit tin, but the grubbiest fucking biscuits ever. Pink wafers.
Aww. I like pink wafers. Don't put pink wafers down.
I'm not putting them down. They're fucking, they're delish biscuits. Oh, Ethel! Yo! Hello!
Hello, Ethel!
Oh, hey!
Yay! We now have 2 faces and 2 pictures. We are bouncing the screen out. It works.
We are in equilibrium.
We are on perfect equinox.
Hey! UXSX, how you doing, dude?
Hey, Rick.
Ethel, we haven't gotten talking about Trek yet, but we will at some stage. Deacon was just informing me, because I totally forgot. I knew it was coming out, and I knew John Malkovich was in it. There is, and it, as you were saying, Deacon, it's not a remake, it's a continuation of a cult British sci-fi show called Utopia. And when is it officially released, Deacon?
Now.
Every
single episode is on Amazon Prime. Yep.
Ooh, nice. That means I can watch it.
Deacon was saying though that again, if you'd watch this, have you got access to BBC USA or Channel 4 USA?
I do, yes.
Oh, cool. That's grand because as Deacon was saying, it's a have you seen the original series from the UK?
No. Nope.
Okay, you might need to watch it because it's a hefty fucker.
The good news is with the new series though is they have sat there and have gone, okay, we're making it for Americans, so they might not have watched the British version. So although it's a continuation, you don't need to have watched all of the original first series, original BBC series to enjoy it. They are very dump via story and via plot and via visuals in the first episode, so you don't need to watch all of it to enjoy the new series.
Oh,
okay. So Deacon, I as a springboard topic, Star Trek, right? I'm going to let the lady start first. Ethel, favorite original series episode of Star Trek, and why?
What, favorite? Geez, I'd have to say it's gonna have to be a toss-up between the Savage Curtain, oh man, now I'm blanking on it. The one with Nomad, Changeling. It's gonna be Savage Curtain, Changeling, or maybe Devil in the Dark. I can't make up my mind on which.
Okay, if you had to pick certain elements out of those episodes that make them good, is there any particular elements, any characters, any scenes, any famous kind of things? Hey Arthur, how you doing?
Hey,
I'd have to. Oh,
No,
Sorry,
I'm
Trenchy?
not. Trenchy, were you going to say something, dude? I think Trenchy is just giggling. Go on, Ethel. What were you saying?
So I'd have to say it's probably the alien for me. I mean, that's the biggest seller in most of the stories is how well the alien is executed. In Savage Curtain, Changeling, and Devil in the Dark, all three aliens are so memorable and so classic. Everybody remembers Nomad, you know, non sequitur. Your facts are out of order.
Is Changeling the one with the salt vampire?
No, Changeling is the one with the probe. They find a probe that's been crashed and joined with another alien probe to create a new probe. And it thinks Kirk is its creator. So it starts treating Kirk like its programmer. So it's looking for instructions and the problem is its mission was changed from seeking out new life to sterilizing imperfect life because of the other programming it absorbed.
Oh, fuck.
So as soon as it finds out that something isn't perfect, it just, zaps it.
Kills it.
So they bring it aboard the Enterprise and, goes around zapping people.
And is it obviously I've never seen that episode. I've obviously I've seen Gamesters of Triskelion. I've seen Amok Time. I love Amok Time. I love the soundtrack to Amok Time. Trouble with Tribbles. That's another great one.
Mm-hmm.
I probably seen the kind of the one with the Gorn. Just
Arena.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. That fight with the Gorn. And Kirk having his fucking tunic tactically torn where it's so he's quote unquote muscles. But again, I as you were saying, it's the aliens that make it, and granted, a lot for the time they were impressive. But I think what kind of resonates with fans that there is good storytelling in Star Trek. There's one episode I remember where these characters have they've surpassed the concept of having war. There's these two civilizations, and they use a computer to designate the statistics of battle and the number of deaths. People are basically they're vaporized based on the fucking statistics by this computer. And I was like, Jesus Christ, that was ahead of its fucking time, like.
Yeah, they've been at war for thousands of years, and it's just because there was no horrors of war that they continued to fight, because the computer made it this clean, cut and dry process. Just walk into this disintegration booth, and off you go.
And like even Spock is like, that's flawless logic, and your man goes, see, he believes it. I said it's flawless logic. I didn't say it was good fucking logic. Like, I love that. Like, even Spock. Devil in the Dark, because Mother Hotra is my favorite character. Jennifer says this. The pain, poor Spock. Yeah.
No kill I.
Well, what about yourself, Deacon? Have you any old episodes of Trek that you love that you go back to and you'll watch?
Oh, well, you mentioned one, which was Trouble with Tribbles. That one's always a fun one to watch. But if we're going for ones that I could sit there and just go, yes, this is my jam, then it's probably I'm no good with episode titles, but it's the one where, what were they bloody called? Oh, my brain, it's not working.
What's the plot? Because Ethel has an encyclopedic knowledge of classic sci-fi. So
It's the one where they go to the mining colony to help deal with the tunneling creatures that are killing the people.
Oh yeah. And
Devil
Spock
in the Dark.
says,
Yeah.
what's it called, Ethel?
That's Devil in the Dark
Oh yeah.
with the Horta
Yeah.
and the spheres. They find the spheres and they destroy the spheres, and they don't realize that it's the creature's eggs.
Yeah, that's the one. I
Yeah,
like it because no matter how you slice it, it's how you would see two civilizations conflicting. You don't understand each other, you don't know what each other want, but you need to come to a compromise. But neither of you are willing to sit down and do anything.
Another good one, just because we were talking about the one with the computers deciding wars. For reasons unknown, I can't remember the name, even though it's right on the tip of my tongue. But there's another one that has computers in charge, which I really dig. It's called "For the World is Hollow, and I Have Touched the Sky," and that's the one where they go to this planet that's inside. So it's like it's a planet, but the actual planet is inside the sphere. So they're living in a hollow ball and think they're living on the surface of a planet.
Oh yeah.
Complete control.
If like again, by today's standards, the visual effects and stuff are honky, but there was some really good writing, and like with Doctor Who, some of the writing team was women, which was very fucking progressive for what was it, the early 60s? Like, yeah, Deacon, you probably know this. One of the pioneering writers for Doctor Who was like a woman. I was like fucking taken aback by like that.
Yeah, and she didn't actually get any of the credit for the episodes she writ until 3 years into her career.
Shit. It's still fucking good enough though that, like, you know.
No, it's good enough that she did it, and if you can find any of the original footage and watch it, then please put a place card in there giving her credit.
It's still fucking good enough though that, like, you know. Yeah, like sorry, Mark, your mic, your tin's running in the background, dude. The volume. Huh?
I just muted it.
Okay, cool. But yeah, no. Mark, what about you? Any favorite episodes of classic Trek?
Probably Day of the Trifids. And then after that, the one where Kirk is stranded on the planet with the huge lizard guy.
Arena.
Yeah. Day of the Trifids. What happens in that one?
The Enterprise becomes overran with all these little fur balls.
Oh, Tribbles. It's Tribbles, dude. Tribbles.
That's Trouble with Tribbles.
Yeah. They done a fantastic episode where of DS9 where the crew end up traveling back in time to that event and have to intercept Darwin. Oh, is it Darwin? I can't remember, but yeah, that was great because like there's a bit where fucking Cisco and Dax are in the container and they're trying to find a bomb in a Tribble and they're just fucking Tribbles out the hatchway, and like in the original series, Kirk gets hit in the head with a fucking Tribble, and it turns out it was one of them that was pelted out by Cisco. But yeah, no. Do you think it's any coincidence that like sci-fi was one of the kind of pioneering kind of genres that had female writers, or like I'm pretty sure there's other shows that had, but it seems to be a lot of science fiction shows had kind of female writers on board, or had like female creators making very important decisions. Do you think that's any kind of think that's just a fluke, or do you think there's an actual genuine? reason behind that?
I don't think it's a fluke. I've known some pretty creative women in my years. So to say that it was, sci-fi having pioneering women would be a fluke, that no. I think
No. But I mean in sci-fi. In
sci-fi, again, I can't say no because women are way more creative than men are.
Yeah. I gotta say, look at horror too. Look at some of the pioneers of horror: Mary Shelley, Anne Rice.
Yeah.
Well, Mary Shelley pioneered horror and sci-fi simultaneously.
Yeah, that was something I brought up in like my sci-fi horror tag. Like, it's no coincidence that like one of the earliest kind of horror stories was also science fiction. It was classic. Antro, did you watch Original Trek? Have you any favorite episodes?
I haven't watched as much as I'd like to. There's just so many other things to watch, but I have seen The Trouble with Tribbles, and I love it. And I've also watched, I believe I mentioned this when we did the sci-fi horror stream, I watched the unaired pilot for Star Trek when Svengoolie aired it, which was really cool and also really weird because the characters weren't quite fully developed yet.
Yeah. Like as you pointed out, Spock was kind of smiling and laughing.
Yeah, he smiles.
Ethel, help us out here. What was the name of the fucking unaired pilot again? The Web or the Trap or what was it?
The Menagerie.
The Menagerie, yeah.
That introduced Pike. That introduced Captain Pike. Trenchy, have you watched the original Trek?
I watched a little bit, yeah.
Have you any favorite episodes or?
There's one that always sticks with me, and I think I mentioned this before. I forget the name, but they go to this planet with like these Roman people, and like they have like mind control or something, and then Spock breaks down and starts crying, and that always stuck with me because you never see Spock do that, and it was pretty good.
Is that the one with fucking Clint Howard as a child riding around on someone's back? What fucking one am I thinking of?
Probably.
Let's see. So okay, let's skip ahead fucking 20 or so years to Star Trek The Next Generation. I think it was fucking class getting a Shakespearean trained actor to be the captain. I mean, Patrick Stewart, Christ Almighty, that guy, he can make fun of himself in American Dad, and also play fucking Macbeth. I mean, that's fucking range right there. Probably my. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just face it, Patrick Stewart is sex on a stick, plain and simple.
Yeah. He's a great actor. There was some really great episodes, and they tackled some very fucking hefty subject matter. For example, Deanna Troy's mother falls in love with a guy whose society deems he has to commit ritualistic suicide at a particular age.
At the age of 60.
Yeah. There was another one that fucking had this ungendered kind of race, and Riker fell in love with her, and like she ended up having to have like basically a fucking I don't know, an emotional fucking kind of castration. I don't know how to explain it, or like, sorry, Ethel, go on.
I was gonna say I remember that episode very well. I can't remember the title. I'm not as good with the titles on Next Gen as I am the original series, but I remember that episode very clearly. She came from a society where everybody was androgynous. So it was against their culture to either identify as male or female. You had to identify as neither, as androgynous. So for her to get involved with Riker, a man, and adopt a female persona and those characteristics and really go for that, it was huge in her culture. Like that was like a big no-no. And what they did was they brought her to a re-education camp where they brainwashed her. And then at the end, spoilers, she tells Riker that she was just confused. And they helped her see that she's just confused. And, obviously, for obvious reasons, that might have a special meaning to me. But, yeah, it's an interesting episode.
Yeah, it's got parallels to like those fucking religious re-education camps where like fucking
Pray the gay away. Yeah, that shit. That hocus pocus focum that doesn't work.
So it had this tragic ending.
Yeah, it was very fucking sad. Like, and that was a cool thing about TNG. That like they kind of had it in the original series, but not everything. The ending wasn't always cut and dry. I remember there was another episode where there was two races, and one had space flight, but they were addicted to a drug, and another kind of technologically inferior race produced a drug, and they kind of held it over the other ones to do their bidding. And basically, I remember Crusher was like, we can't fucking help these people, subjugate these other people who are addicted to a drug. And Picard's like, look, the Prime Directive says we can't fucking interfere. And your man was like, yeah, fucking Prime Directive, go. We can fucking we can have these people on a fucking short leash forever. And then it turns out their transport gets fucked. And they're like, yeah, can you help us out, fix the transport so we can like ship the drugs back to the planet? And Picard's like, nah, Prime Directive goes both way, bitches. I love that. I love that. It was like, but it was an interesting show. It did have like a kind of plot of the week. There was never like a long form plot like you get with now shows. But they did do some interesting stuff. I mean, the fact Tasha Yar getting killed in the first season, Denise Crosby, the daughter of Ben Crosby, she wanted out just to fucking have like a main character killed, and it wasn't. I'm not going to say it wasn't heroic, but it was very unceremonious. She just like the fucking skinny evil or whatever just fucking zaps her and that's it. And like just I thought TNG was one of the more better kind of better shows to come out of the 80s and the 90s. Ethel, favorite TNG episode?
Oh, favorite TNG episode? Gosh, I'd have to go with Best of Both Worlds.
Is that the introduction of the Borg? Or is that
actually the introduction of the Borg is a Q episode, which I'm a big fan of all the Q episodes. Delance is great,
Delancey's fantastic, but one thing I always want to know is what fucking powers have Guinan? Because whenever Q and Guinan face off, they're like doing this, and it's like, what fucking Dragon Ball Z-esque battle would take place if Picard wasn't there to go, hey, chill your fucking knickers, guys, like,
He refers to her as Imp, which, is just a moniker, but it implies that she's some sort of magical being in a way, which, I don't know, she lives forever. She was in that episode with Mark Twain, so it's kind of weird, huh?
Yeah, Data's head. Like, again, it's Q. So the fact is Q backs off. Q goes into a defensive posture. that says that Guinan ain't some fucking like ordinary terrestrial fucking being. She is something that's she is something to be fucking feared by the Q continuum. Like
It's because she has one special ability that the Q really wish she didn't have, and that's
like,
you have to read the Star Trek files to get this one. So, aha, I'm up on one, yay! But apparently, Guinan, in her immortal state, is immune to any direct manipulation done by any Q.
oh, is that because of her race or because of something she did to herself or the Q did
Because
to her?
it's something that the Q did to her.
That makes sense.
It's a two-edged sword. She wanted complete immortality. Guess what? She got it, but it also means they can't kill her at a whim.
Oh. But like, does it ever explain what the deal is with the hands? Can she fucking like shoot out force lightning, or does she know Krav Maga or some fucking?
The basics is if Q tried shooting any lightning or air or anything at Guinan, if she holds her hands out, the spell or whatever the effect will be will literally bounce back and hit him.
So basically, she can force power reverse the fucking shit back at him. Deacon, what's your oh sorry, I'm bouncing down. I'll come back to you, Deacon. Antro, what's up?
I just have to go. It's supper time. I'm sorry.
Dude.
Oh, that's all right, dude.
Thanks.
You're a growing monster.
On, man. You're a gent as always. And if someone else doesn't come on and there's a spare seat, you're more than welcome back, dude, as always.
All right. Awesome.
Enjoy
Take care, guys.
Enjoy your food, growing monster.
Enjoy your food.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye. I'm gonna fucking plonk the old link in the chat there. Anyone wants to jump in, you're more than welcome.
Obsession is on.
Who's in that?
Oh,
is that the one with Beyonce and fucking Ali Latter?
no, it's an episode of Star Trek, the original series.
Oh, okay. I'm a dumbass. Sorry, I was thinking of the other movie with fucking Beyonce and Ali Latter.
That's
And
obsessed.
I thrown her off.
It's the one with the gaseous entity. It's sort of like a vampire, and Kirk becomes obsessed with destroying it.
Oh.
Because he
yeah,
encountered
kind of the Moby Dick kind of episode.
Yeah. It's if anybody has Heroes and Icons, it's on Heroes and Icons right now. Just letting you know.
Sweet beans, flying machines. Okay, so Deacon, favorite episodes of TNG, if you had to pick. I think Deacon might have gone to get a cuppa. Mark, favorite episodes of TNG.
The Mark Twain episode, without a doubt.
Data's head.
Right.
And I also like the fact that Riker and Troy both went on to star in Gargoyles, the anime series.
Dude, what's that again? We didn't hear you. There was a bit of crackling there.
I said I also love the fact that Riker and Troy both went on to star in Gargoyles, the animated series.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't just them. Fucking loads of Star Trek alumni turn up.
Mm-hmm.
Loads.
Michael Warren is in there too.
Fucking, what's it? Who? Brent Spiner is Puck in the later season. Fucking.
If you had Troy playing Damona.
Who voiced Cisco? Who played Cisco? Oh, fuck.
Spencer for Hire.
Sorry?
Spencer for Hire was Cisco. That's Avery Brooks.
Avery Brooks was the voice of a character. Loads of Star Trek characters. Fucking Odo, the guy who done Odo, Reddy Arlem or fuck it, I can't. The dude who could turn into porridge, he was in it as well. But Deacon,
Right.
what is your favorite episode of TNG?
Oh, Star Trek: The Next Generation. I would have to sit there and it's hard to pick just one 'cause it's all good, but definitely the end, the last 3 episodes, the trilogy where they're trying to end it all with the vortex that goes backwards in time.
Oh, where Picard keeps on fluctuating between the past, present, and the alternate kind of future.
Yeah, the only other one that I can
Alternate.
think that would be
Yeah,
the only,
all good things. Trenchy,
Yeah.
have you any Star Trek: The Next Generation favorite episodes or episodes you can remember? What the fuck is going on here?
I've seen very few. I can't really recall an episode, but I will say my favorite character of that series was Q. I only seen a little bit of it, but I just like Q from what I've seen.
He was brilliant. I liked where he got turned human, and he was like, "There's something wrong. My stomach, it's in pain. I'm feeling weak." You haven't eaten, you fucking idiot. That's like.
Hewlett.
Reminded me of Mr. Milla, you know, the bad guy from Superman, Mr. Milla. I can't say his name, but
Mixel.
That's it. He's essentially an omnipotent kind of trickster god, which Delancey does a fantastic job. I do like he fucked around with a load of captains, but when he came on GS9, just like fucking Cisco was like, fuck this dude, and just flicked his face. He was just like, yeah, I do not have time for this shit. And just punches his Twitter. Go on, Ethel.
yeah, I think
Oh. I love his reaction after Cisco punches him. He's like, "You struck me. Picard never hit me." And Cisco's just like, "I'm not Picard."
That's even more salt into the wound because it doesn't stay, but you can definitely tell there's animosity towards Picard because when Picard was Locutus, he was responsible for the death of Cisco's wife. So it's like, don't bring up Picard's name around me or I'll fucking land you. That's kind of like the thing I got. Again, great series, great characters. But I think, and for the longest time I hated it, I think one of the best Star Trek shows, and still to this date, is DS9. So much fucking going on with DS9. Like you basically had parallels to the Holocaust. Ethel, you probably know this, but Ensign Ro was supposed to be the character of Major Kira. Yeah, in that, and it was an interesting kind of parallel to have someone who wasn't Federation, who was an outsider, and like there was so many kind of great episodes that showed that, you know, in DS9 you had to operate outside the kind of prime directive because it was the neutral zone. It was the Wild West, like.
Well, it was kind of cool because they got into this whole, and a lot of Star Trek fans don't like DS9 because of this, but I think the whole creative thing about DS9 is they took the concept of Star Trek and they innovated it in a way where they said, hey, let's really dig down and get into the social political things in a more episodic way instead of, oh, okay, you know, this episode's about this episode's about this. Let's have more of a serial going on here rather than that. So they dig into all.
I think my major issue with it was they're not going anywhere. They're just staying in the same place. Fucking teenage means like, this is boring. They're just staying in the same place. They're trying to negotiate things. Where's the laser battles? It's like,
Well, later seasons they got the Defiant, so you had a cloaking device and laser battles, all on a Federation ship. Who couldn't love that? And you had Worf in charge half the time.
Yeah, it was great. I loved Odo, and I loved. It was almost comedic. Like Odo, Quark would do something, Odo would get pissed off, and we're like Quark, and just.
Armin Sherman is great in that. That is not the first time he played a Ferengi. He played a Ferengi about 2 or 3 times on Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yeah, when they first introduced the Ferengi, he was one of the original Ferengi, right? And it was just, he was so great. And he like, I remember, like, going back watching fucking DS9 and just thinking about, like, oh, this character's just a carbon copy dickhead fucking barman. But, like, Quark is probably the most pragmatic person on board. He's talking to a Romulan, and he's like, you know what? It's all well and good to be dead, but you can't make a fucking profit if you're dead. He's just he out logics a Romulan, trying to explain that, like, yeah, it's all well and good to have freedom, but like if everyone's fucking dead, what's the point of it? Probably my favorite episode of DS9 is the one where Cisco and who was the tailor? Who was the Cardassian tailor that was such a great character? Garrick. They plot to try and get they do a ploy to try and get the Romulans involved in the Dominion War, and Cisco is just, again, spoilers for a 20-year show. Cisco is dictating into his audio log, and he's like, yeah, score 1 for the good guys. All I had to do was kill, lie, murder, and trick a non-combative nation into a battle. And he confesses the whole thing and deletes it at the end. And I said, that's fucking brilliant writing right there. What about you, Deacon? Any favourite episodes of DS9?
My favourite episode is the one. Well, it's not so much an episode. It's a series of little episodes put together. It's the series of episodes where they are escaping from the Jem'Hadar prison.
Ooh. I never liked
that one.
Jem'Hadar. I don't know why.
Oh, I don't like the Jem'Hadar, but I liked the way that they orchestrated them having to escape from the prison and how they had to all rely on each other, even though trust was very limited. And
was that part of the arc where Worf was put into the fucking ring, fighting like he fights like our guys in a row?
Yeah, to fight over. Yeah, he had to defeat one Hirogen every fight, and he had to fight at least 10 times a day.
Whoa, wait, were the Hirogen introduced in DS9?
Yeah.
I thought the Hirogen were the hunters from Voyager.
Yeah, the Hirogen are hunters.
Sorry, what are they then? DS9, the Jem'Hadar.
So, yeah, the Jem'Hadar soldiers.
Jem'Hadar.
It's where they're so similar.
Yeah, Ethel, favorite DS9 episodes. Have you any particular ones that you liked?
Yeah, and I always keep going back to it, and it's just because it's such a deep episode. I'm usually big on the aliens, but Far Beyond the Stars is a big favorite of mine. If any of you aren't familiar, it's the one where Cisco keeps traveling back in time in his mind, and he's like a writer for this science fiction novel, and they won't publish his story about Deep Space Nine because he's black.
Yeah,
the whole episode revolves around that.
Yeah, it was basically him, and it turns out Kira, the alternate persona of Kira, they're not allowed to have a photograph taken because no one had read their stories, and his story is actually DS9. That's a fucking great episode.
Yeah, and it's such a good episode. Avery Brooks, that's probably one of his best performances ever. I want to just say anything he's ever done, I would stack that up against anything he's ever done.
Yeah, when he's having a breakdown near the end of the episode, it's fucking heartbreaking. Like that was good. Mark, did you watch DS9 back in the day?
Yes, I did.
Had you any favorite episodes?
A couple. The first one that comes to mind is Blood Oath.
What happens in that one, dude?
That's where Dax has to honor a commitment made to the Klingons.
Oh.
And then there's the 2-part Marquis de Sade episode.
Okay. What did you think when they killed off Dax and replaced her with, was it Ezra?
That was heartbreaking because I love Dax. She's one of my favorite characters.
I think the actress wanted more screen time. It was conflicting with her work on a Ted Danson comedy, Becker. I think she was in like she was going to be kind of booted up to a bigger role in the series Becker, which actually starred Shawnee Smith as Becker's kind of ditzy fucking secretary. So any horror fans out there, if you're watching Becker and you see,
yeah, she wanted to star in Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth.
Yeah, she was in a couple of. She was in The Stand as well. She had a small cameo in The Stand, and she's great at psycho bimbos. She was brilliant in that. She's in Saw as well, of course. I keep on forgetting she was in Saw. Trenchy, did you watch DS9 back in the day?
No, I think I missed that one. I might have seen like clips here or there, but I never actually watched an episode.
Yeah, no, DS9 was pretty awesome. I think it just when I didn't like it, I just don't think I was mature enough to fucking appreciate what it was and how good it was. Like, there's so many fucking great episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's one that's very like a kind of a 1940s Hell in the Pacific War movie where the crew go to resupply a Federation outpost that's trying to access Dominion communication tower, and like they constantly get attacked, and there's these mines that teleport in and out at random, and they have to try and fucking deal with that.
Houdini's.
That's the one where Nog loses his leg, right?
Yeah.
And that's the episode where I realized, you know what? Quark isn't such a selfish cunt, because the minute that Dominion guy comes in, he like puts himself in front of Nog, and he starts fucking blasting, and it's like, yeah, it's a great episode.
So I gotta say, DS9 is great because it not only did it do all this great political stuff with alien races and Bajor and the Federation, but it also gave us basically all the lore on the Ferengis that Star Trek The Next Generation never got around to. We got to see Ferenginar, we got to learn more about their system of government, we got to learn about their family structure, their death practices. Oh, great.
I love the episode. Fucking, this is magnificent. The magnificent Ferengi, where they go on a rescue mission to rescue Woogie, and usually Jeffrey Combs plays the character, but this time it was Iggy Pop. Iggy Pop played what's those guys with the weird hair and the big ears, and they got the Jeffrey Combs was the main bad guy version of them in the series. He kept on getting killed and cloned and.
Wayun. Jeez, I can never remember the name of his species.
No, but Iggy Pop plays one of them. But basically, they capture him, and they want to do a trade for him for Mugi, but one of the Ferengi accidentally kill him, so they have to put him on remote control to give back to the that's again. If you haven't watched DS9, definitely check it out. Like most Trek shows, it's fairly shaky in the first season, but it definitely picks up its legs in the second. Going on to the freckled stepchild, what some people consider the freckled stepchild of I'm gonna go back quickly. Another favorite episode of mine of DS9 is the one where Keiko and Miles' daughter disappears and comes back as like this feral child. But the reason it's my favorite, through all the series, right, Colin Meaney was begging the showrunners to let him use the word bollocks. He was just begging to use it. And he's trying to fix the machine to get what's calls back again? Fuck. He's trying to get his daughter back. He's trying to fix it. And he's like, oh, bollocks anyway. And like the showrunner's like, yeah, grand. So what was the big deal? And he goes, you really don't know what I mean the word bollocks? No, it's grand. We don't have to censor it. While in England, when they showed it in England, it got censored. But yeah, that's another favorite episode of mine because Colin Meaney, in any of the movies he stars in Ireland, he has to say bollocks at least 6 or 7 times. So he finally got to say it in Star Trek.
What a great episode he had when they sent him to psychological prison, where they gave him like 70 years in prison in his mind.
Ethel, what was it about engineers on Enterprise ships getting totally fucked over? Scotty got fucking pimp and bitch slapped all over the place. Fucking how many times was Geordi kidnapped and molested and had his eyes turned into fucking surveillance systems? I think fucking O'Brien, Chief O'Brien, the actual Chief O'Brien is dead and he got replaced by an alternate universe. I mean, what is it with engineers getting fucked over in Star Trek? I mean, it is fucking torturous, like, you know?
Jeez, the only one who seemed to fare okay was B'Elanna.
B'Elanna had a rough go of it as well. First off, she got knocked up by Tom. Okay, we'll use that as a segue. She got knocked up by that fucking prick Tom Paris, right? Then she had basically Klingon menopause, where she was fucking losing her shit with people fucking left, right, and center. Yeah, B'Elanna Torres had a bad go of it as well. But yeah, Voyager. I'm gonna jump to Deacon this time, Ethel. Deacon, your thoughts on Voyager? Is it as bad as people make it out to be?
I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be, but I am in no way defending it.
Is Captain Janeway a good captain or a bad captain?
Oh, she's a complete and utter psychopath.
Target their tractor beam generator.
Phaser is targeted.
Fire.